Fali Nariman, regarded as one of the best legal minds that this country has produced. His life has served as an inspiration not only for lawyers and law students, but also for the citizens of this country themselves.
Nariman was a strong believer in the Constitution of India and its role in shaping the political and legal landscape of the country. He was very vocal about interpreting it in a way that it protects the fundamental rights of people and upholds democratic values.
Fali Nariman was a staunch advocate for judicial independence, a principle that he heavily defended in the Second Judge's Case 1993. His arguments were instrumental in establishing the collegium system that allowed for judicial appointments without executive interference.
While he is primarily known for his legal work, Nariman has also been deeply involved in various social causes. He actively promoted legal awareness, ensuring that justice is not simply limited to courts. Through public lectures, legal aid clinics, and advocacy, he ensured that citizens are aware of their rights and actively participated in democratic processes.
My first exposure to Fali Nariman was reading his autobiography Before Memory Fades. Though at the time of reading, I was not quite well versed enough in the law to understand the nuances of his arguments. However, during the course of my law school journey, I came across quite a few articles detailing the instrumental impact he has had in shaping the Indian legal landscape, including his involvement in the landmark S.P. Gupta and Golaknath judgments, as well as his role in shaping human rights.
So I found out about Mr. Nariman when I first joined law school. His autobiography had just come out, Before Memory Fades, and it was quite the rage among my peers at law school. And finally, giving in to peer pressure, I picked up a copy and I read through his work. What struck me was it was not just like a book that was filled with lots of legal terms or like something that was very hard for a law student, first-year law student to access, but it was very accessible and it was very humble also. And the best thing, what I really enjoyed was the text was very self-deprecating, like he could poke fun at himself. Which was something very new to me because I was under the impression as a first-year law student that lawyers are very serious and they are quite, straight-jacketed.
Mr. Fali S. Nariman's legacy has reshaped my understanding of justice and the rule of law by reminding me that law is not merely an exercise in intellect, but also one of the heart. As he wisely put, law is a matter of the heart as well as the head. You must have compassion. It is one of the greatest qualities. This inspired me to approach every new case I read with both analytical precision as well as a deep empathy for those affected. Mr. Nariman's values and commitments to fairness, secularism, and human dignity motivate me to move beyond mere legal technicalities and instead embrace a compassionate pursuit of justice, a lesson I take with me as I forge on my path in the legal profession.
For me, the connection with Mr. Fali Nariman somehow feels personal, because in 2018 when I was preparing for my Masters, he came out with a book titled God Save the Honorable Supreme Court, where he discussed about two pressing issues that the court was dealing with during those days. The first was the press conference of judges, which was taken by the four senior-most judges of the Supreme Court, where they dealt with certain internal functionings of the court and released some data about the court. The second was a sitting justice of the High Court was held in contempt of the Supreme Court. This book made me think about the issues that the Supreme Court was facing and then in turn led to my doctoral work on the Supreme Court of India.
Some of Mr. Nariman's qualities which were demonstrated throughout his illustrious legal career was his courage and his commitment to constitutional values. For instance, he stood up to an oppressive government during the emergency. I believe these values are very relevant in today's times, and I hope to emulate them further in my own career.
Fali Nariman, in my view, has been one of the most influential lawyers to the idea of a living Indian constitution, especially its core values of justice, rule of law, and liberalism. Whether we look back on his arguments on the basic structure doctrine or on judicial independence, he truly stands out for his constitutional commitment. I believe young lawyers should be inspired by his tenacity to fight for what is right in the face of daunting challenges and in an ever-changing society.
One of the defining moments of Nariman's career was his resignation as Additional Solicitor General in 1975, a principled stand against emergency and suspension of democratic rights. At a time when many remained silent or compliant, his decision to step down was a powerful act of resistance, reaffirming his commitment towards constitutional values. Unafraid to speak truth to power, he consistently advocated for institutional reforms and governmental overreach. His engagement in public discourse went beyond the law to the issues of governance, religious tolerance, free speech, cementing his legacy as nation's moral conscience.
Hello, I'm Ashish Bharadwaj. I'm sure a lot has already been shared about the legendary Fali Nariman, about his work, his books, his autobiography. Let me share something on a lighter note. While we were all busy in the first semester of the first academic year of BITS Law School in Mumbai, an important conference was happening in New Delhi. I think it was in September 2023. It was hosted by the UN Commission on International Trade Law, where Fali Nariman delivered a fabulous inaugural speech. He narrated a very interesting story, which I will read for all of you. And I quote, "There is a sign in the window of a shoe repair shop in downtown Boston. It is run by a Greek immigrant who's fed up with customer complaints. So he puts up a sign in a triangle connecting three expressions: fast service, low price, high quality. At the top of the triangle are the words fast service. And at the bottom two ends of the triangle are low price, high quality. And underneath is a short but all important instruction: pick any two." What's the point I'm making? In these times, what we have learned from the great Fali Nariman is that the three together, fast service, low price, high quality, are absolutely unattainable in legal practice and also in legal education. I and all my colleagues here in BITS believe in this profound insight. I hope all law students and the early stage practitioners in the profession will reflect on this. So let's choose our priorities and battles wisely. Fali Sam Nariman chose the right battles in his life and showed us how they are fought. Thank you.